welcome to How to Manifest an Emotionally Available Partner Who is Ready to Commit, or if you're in a relationship where you feel alone, how to get your partner to commit. For this training, we are going to call this your soulmate. And I want to say something right now. Most men are emotionally available, and men absolutely want to commit. So how do we manifest a man or partner like that in our lives? Or how do we turn our relationship around? Today, I'm going to teach you how to manifest your soulmate. And once you know how to manifest your soulmate, you'll actually know how to keep manifesting what you want in your relationship and how to keep that vibrant and healthy. This is exactly what I did, not only to manifest my future husband, but what I teach my clients to be able to attract the love and even turn their marriages around when they thought there was no hope. And if you stay with me till the very end, I'll have a special gift for you, but that's only if you stay till the very end. Katie, hi. Kelly Does. Good, awesome. Okay, I know who you are. It's crazy they only put the first names. Maybe I need to ask for the last names since I know like half my audience. Okay, so let me ask you, why are you here? Let me know in the comments why you decided to be on this training today. Let's make sure you're in the right place. So this is for you if you have been in a relationship after relationship with the same problems following you, and you are done with the cycle and you want to be in love. This is for you if you are in a relationship right now and you are wondering if this is what love is supposed to feel like and you're not sure if it's going to work. And this is for you if you're exhausted from trying to make it work and you are so done trying to figure it out on your own. If that's you, you are in the right place. My name is Nichole Carlson, and I help people radically transform their marriages, business, and lives. Clients come to me when they are struggling in their intimate relationships and they are on the brink of divorce, or they're tired of being alone and they want to manifest their soulmate. Katie, you're in the right place. If you're exhausted, you're in the right place. I want to stop patterns that are not serving me anymore. Absolutely. Awesome. Okay. Right now, I am living my dream. I just manifested my future husband, and I have a business that I love. I have clients that I absolutely adore, and I travel, well, most years, I travel 2 to 3 times a year. And this is me in Germany, and this is me in LA, and these are my clients on the left-hand side. And in my spare time, I compete in bodybuilding competitions. The reason I'm telling you all this is because I manifested my entire life. Obviously, we're focusing on how to manifest an emotionally available partner who's ready to commit. But I live this stuff. I manifested my entire life by flipping the switch, these 4 shifts that I'm about to tell you about. Okay, but it wasn't always this way. So let's backtrack a little bit. In fact, I felt alone all of my life and frustrated because the harder I tried, the more men pulled away from me. Do you guys have that problem where you try and it seems like the harder you try, the more your partners pull away from you? Let me know, because I was really frustrated. So this was 2001, one of my lowest points in my life. I was about to marry a man that cheated on me, and that deep down I knew he couldn't give me everything that I needed. I stopped believing in marriage, and I was so desperate to make this work. And I felt trapped between my commitment to get married and the fact that he was pulling away. Katie, yes. Kelly, yep. Yeah. Oh, it's frustrating. Okay, we're going to solve all that for you today. Even though I knew he wasn't emotionally available, I still got married, because that's what you do in your 20s. Apparently. I still got married, and I had this perfect life on the outside, but I was miserable because I felt alone, I felt neglected, I felt abandoned, and he was consumed by his work, and I slept alone most nights. And it was just awful place to be. Yep. Okay. Yeah, you guys are definitely in the right place. And 30s. Oh, yeah. I had my issues in my 30s too. So what happened in my marriage? One day I got a call, and my mom, who was 47, had cancer, and she never made it to her 48th birthday. And as hard as that was, it was a wake-up call for me, saying life is short and I can't keep living my life this way. So it created this huge urgency in my life. And I got a divorce. I sold my house. I quit my job one day. I sold my car 1 hour later. And the next day I was on a one-way ticket to Spain. And that was over 10 years ago. And I traveled for years, and I rebuilt my life, following my heart in my life and my career. And through years of rebuilding, this is how I learned to manifest my life and what I want by flipping the switch. And while my life was in order, I kept struggling through my 30s and almost all the way up to my 40s. I kept struggling with the same relationship problems. And in 2017, I broke up with my ex, and something drastic happened. I finally learned how to change my energy and fix my relationship problems. And I manifested my soulmate who pursues me relentlessly. I'm going to tell you guys how that happened. You guys, I want you to know, I love you guys. You guys are like talking, and you guys are going to get a lot out of this because you're engaged. Okay. So what? So what? I manifested my future husband. So what? So I struggled for almost 20 years. And now I manifested my future husband. This is why it's a big deal, okay? We were friends for 3 years. I was in love with him for a year, like after, like near the end of that, right? I was in love with him for a year. I knew that he loved me, but he kept saying he wasn't ready. Hi, Jessica. Do you want to throw in your last name too so I can see which Jessica? I knew he wasn't ready. But so there was, the thing of it is, I was in love with him, and I knew that he loved me, but we couldn't be together because there was this energetic block between us. I know you guys have experienced that block where you're with somebody, but there's like a block between you, or maybe you can't be with somebody because there's an energetic block. Well, this block was created by abandonment issues in my past, fear, neediness. I felt like I was never enough. I was feeling insecure. And then I shifted my energy, and I literally, guys, I literally wrote one line in my journal, one line, and I visualized for 3 days about him proposing and our wedding. Like, that's all I did for 3 days. I visualized him proposing, us getting married. And on the 4th day, he shows up in my living room, fully committed, and telling me that wherever I go, he was coming with me. Are you talking about me, or you just now? Oh, Jessica. That Jessica. Okay, that your last name. I'm with you. That's why I manifested you here on this training, Jessica, because you need to be here. So today I'm going to talk to you about these 4 keys that had to happen for him to go from I'm not ready for a relationship to I want to marry you. And during that 1.5 years after my breakup in 2017. So what would it feel like Guys, what would it feel like to feel so loved, safe, and secure with your lover that you never question it? What would it feel like to feel like they support you in everything you are doing? What would it feel like to feel like there's a deep sense of trust and respect between you? And what would it feel like that they desire to be with you? And what would it feel like to feel passion and the chemistry that you are craving? How would that feel? Amazing. Yes. You guys, I love you guys. I'm clicking on the wrong page. Okay. But we get into this place where we are unhappy and we feel like a failure in our relationships. And we just want to be in a relationship that works. We are tired of being on the fence and we don't know what to do. And we're barely holding it together. And we are this happy person living in an unhappy life. Let me say that again. We're this happy person living in an unhappy life. And we're scared of trusting again. And we're scared of getting triggered. And we want to believe in love, but we don't know what we need to do to make it happen. And we get in this place where we are ready to call in our soulmate right now. It would feel wonderful, fulfilling and wonderful and peaceful and amazing. Okay, guys, I love you guys. I love you guys. Okay. So today you will learn the shifts that I made to go from 20 years of being neglected in my relationships. This is truly amazing, guys. To attracting my future husband and being pursued. This is the first time I've ever felt pursued. Okay. And how you can apply these same 4 shifts to create the relationship that you want. Yeah, triggers are the worst. Ugh. Yeah. You guys are here for a reason. I can tell you guys really relate to this. Where you're going to learn why nothing has worked for you in the past and how to use these 4 shifts to attract the love you desire, even if you feel like you've been stuck in the same pattern for years. You will also learn what's really stopping you from having the love and intimacy you desire and how to change that, even if you are in like your current relationship, if you are in a relationship. And you will learn how you can manifest your soulmate relationship. Okay, so, guys, as I go down the list, write in the comments if you want to, like, write in the comments what you've experienced. So let me ask you, does this sound like you? Do you have abandonment issues? This was big for me. Fear, neediness. This was also very big for me. Feeling like you are never enough. Also big for me. Insecure, feeling depleted. Somebody already said on here that they were exhausted. Feeling abandoned, feeling annoyed, pissed off, angry, saying, I don't ask for that much. I hate saying that. Wondering if it's ever going to work, having anxiety. And do you wonder, is this what love is supposed to feel like? Yes, yes, yes. All of the above. Definitely fear, insecure. Natasha, there you are. You're so quiet. Okay, you guys are in the right place. Okay, we got that. Okay. All these things that I talked about in the previous slide, all these things, they are not the problem. All these things are symptoms of the problem. And if you are trying to fix the symptoms, you will never fix the problem. But once you fix the problem, all of the symptoms will go away, right? So what's the problem? If those aren't the problem, what is the problem? Let's talk about what the real problem is. The problem is, you guys know this. You guys already know this. You guys know the real problem is that you need to know how to flip the switch. You guys saw that coming, I'm sure. there are 4 shifts that you need to make so you can manifest the relationship you've been wanting so badly. But what I want you to know is that this is the only thing that has worked for me. And this is the only thing that has worked for my clients. And no one out there is teaching this, because I had to create this system myself, obviously. So it took me 20 years to figure this out. But with my clients, with the tools that I give them, they're able to fix their relationships or manifest their soulmate in a matter of months. Okay, let's get into it. You guys ready? Okay, shift number 1. Did you guys know this one was coming? You need to reprogram your relationship patterns. You keep getting emotionally unavailable partners, not because the dating pool in Austin or New York is bad, okay? Not because people don't know how to date anymore, and not because your standards are too high. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. These are not the reasons why you're getting emotionally unavailable partners, okay? You keep getting emotionally unavailable partners because you have a pattern. You have a relationship pattern. For me, my pattern started with my mom. My mom, and then my marriage, and then my following 2 relationships. So I watched my mom create this pattern of like abandonment issues in her relationship with my dad. And then I went through that and had that in my marriage. And then I had that in my following 2 relationships. So if you know that you have a pattern that is the problem, right? Type in, well, if you guys know you guys have a pattern, type in pattern in the comments, because it's the pattern that's the problem. It's not the partners, okay? And even if you try really hard and to consciously avoid your pattern, right? You will still recreate that pattern over and over again. I did this after I left my ex-husband. I picked safe men that wouldn't cheat on me, but they still neglected me, even though they showed up strong for me at the beginning. And they end up pulling away after about 6 months. And I still had the same problems of neglect and abandonment. More than one pattern. It has to be a pattern. Yes. So this is good news. If it's a pattern, we can fix that. If it's the men or our partners that then we can't fix our partners. We know we can't fix our partners. We've tried. We've been there. So if it's a pattern, we can totally fix this. Okay? So for you, it doesn't matter if you get out of the relationship that you are currently in. What you've gotten in your relationships is always some version of what you will continue to get. You guys get this? The pattern is going to follow you. Okay, so guys, type in the comments, I am done with the pattern. I am done with the pattern. Okay. Let me tell you about my client, Sydney. Sydney came to me right when her relationship was in crisis. She didn't know if she should stay or go. She was devastated, and she thought there was no way to work something like this out. But she also knew that this man was her soulmate. So she thought the problem was him, okay? But the real problem was that this was a pattern for her that she picked up from watching her parents. So this was a generational pattern. And she was just recreating this in all of her relationships. So if you see the picture, you already know how this ends. We worked together privately to reprogram her relationship patterns and figure out what was truly right for her. And she knew she had worked through her relationship patterns and she knew her relationship was going to work, and she decided to stay with him. And within a few months, they were engaged, and they actually live here in Austin, and they are getting married in a couple of months. Okay, you guys are done with the pattern. Awesome. Done, done, done. Okay, awesome. Deneen, there you are. Where have you been? So quiet. Okay. So let me tell you about my client, Holly. Holly was in a pattern of non-committal men, and now she was in her 40s, and she was tired of the games. In fact, she was in an uncommitted relationship when we first spoke. She had been dating this man for 2 years, and he still wanted to be friends, even though they were way past that point. I think we've all been there. And she was ready to give up. She was frustrated, and she was ready to give up. And we started working together, and we started reprogramming her relationship patterns. And it was as if he completely changed. And he proposed to her from almost out of nowhere. But she did the work, and that's what made everything change for her. So Holly, okay, so she's engaged. I have yet to hear about her wedding date, but I'm sure that's coming. But this is what happens when you reprogram your relationship patterns. Okay, so shift number 2, you have to heal from your past. You guys are not surprised about this because you guys are in my audience. You guys, I've talked to all of you. You have to heal from your past. Okay. Here's the thing that we don't know. Okay. We think that we've gotten past our past, but we haven't. So it had almost been 20 years since my ex had cheated on me. But while we were engaged, my dad announced that he was leaving the family for another woman. And I was sitting there with a ring on my finger, and all of my beliefs about love and marriage came crumbling down around me. And I was mad. I was so mad. And I stopped talking to my dad for 6 years because I was that angry. Eventually, we talked again and everything was okay. But after my ex left, in 2017, my ex-boyfriend, now I have to differentiate. After my ex left, I realized I had more healing to do. And not because I was mad, but because it was stopping me from love. So I was no longer mad at my dad, and I was no longer mad at my ex-husband, but I had to forgive and heal because it was stopping me from love. Because to what, Kelly? So I had to go back and heal. So you may think time heals your pain, or you may think that you aren't upset anymore. But if you are not manifesting your soulmate, it's probably because you need to go back and do some healing work. Wasn't about your dad. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't about my dad. Like I was not mad anymore. But it was stopping me from manifesting my future husband. So type in the comments, guys. Time does not heal your pain. Time does not heal your pain. Okay. Now I want you guys to meet my client, Kyle. Kyle came to me almost 2 years ago now, and he had just gotten married and he was expecting. His business was taking a nosedive, and there were a lot of trust issues in his relationship. He felt like he had made a mistake, but he was trying to do the right thing for his new family. Over the course of 6 months, he stopped working out. He started eating badly. He put on weight. He lost focus and drive in his business. And Kyle came to me, and we worked together on his relationship while rebuilding his confidence. We healed his past wounds. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Time does not heal your pain. Yes. We healed his past wounds. We broke old relationship patterns. So we did number 1 and number 2, right? We changed old beliefs, and we used this time to build up who he was and help him figure out what he wanted. He got better. He got so much better, but the relationship got worse. He kept hoping for the potential of the relationship. Guys, have you ever stayed in a relationship for the potential of the relationship? That's the worst. Put a 2 in the comments if you've ever been there before. Like I've totally been there. I'm sure you have. If you guys if you guys know me and follow me, you guys have probably done the same. Okay, so finally, he had the strength and confidence to walk away, and it was as if he flipped the switch and he was done. Okay, 2. Yeah, there's a lot of 2s coming. Lots of 2s, last marriage. Oh, okay. So he walked away. He got a divorce, walked away from that marriage, and he decided to, well, he got a divorce and he changed his whole life. Guys, he's currently training for his bodybuilding competitions. He's already done 1, and he is in a new relationship. Guys, this, oh wait, right, 1, oh God. This to this, this to this, this to this. This is what a bad relationship will do to you. And even if it doesn't do this on the outside, it's going to do this to you on the inside. To that. Okay. All right. Now I want to introduce you to Sandy. Sandy was in and out of relationships because she had so much fear about being neglected, abandoned, or left. And that created blocks in her relationships. When she finally met her soulmate, she knew this was the one, and she knew it had to be different for her. She did not want to mess this one up. So she came to me to make sure she was creating the relationship the right way. Okay. So we worked together on healing from her past, from her things in her childhood, her past relationships, and she no longer let fears run her relationships. And now she is in a committed relationship with her soulmate. And this is obviously a picture of them. This is a picture of them. Okay. So, all right. So is everybody ready for shift number 3? Okay. Shift number 3 is you need to change your beliefs. The day I manifested my future husband, I had to change a really strong belief that I had held on to for almost 20 years. I wrote 1 line in my journal declaring that I wanted to marry this man. And I visualized him proposing on the beach, which is not in Austin, right? For 3 days. I visualized him proposing on the beach, us getting married on the beach. All of that is not in Austin, obviously. Austin is landlocked, for those of you who don't know. And then I visualized for 3 days, and on the 3rd day, I went to go see him, and I stopped by the mailbox to get a fashion jewelry, just like a $5 big diamond ring for my bodybuilding competition. And I was going to go meet him at the gym, and it just happened to come in on my way to the gym. So I just grabbed it, and then I got to the gym and I showed him this ring, this fashion jewelry ring, like just $5 ring. He takes the ring. Like, this is on the 3rd day after I've been visualizing. He takes the ring and he goes to 1 knee in the gym. Like, this is a man that does not, he's not the marrying type. Like, I was not, like, I'm not the marrying. I wasn't the marrying type before him. Like, 100%. It was like, never again, right? He is 10 times more not the marrying type. And I'm freaking out because he's gone to 1 knee. And I'm like, Okay, holy, okay, all right, cool. So he comes over the next day, right? And he says, wherever you go, I'm going to go with you. And I'm like, this is crazy. How is this happening? And so I don't say anything. I'm like, I visualized and now he's here. How is this happening? So then I don't say anything for about a month to anybody, right? Not to Facebook, not to my friends. And then a month later, I was dying to ask him, right? Because I knew I manifested him. I told him I manifested him because he knew about my crazy, my crazy life, right? I told him I manifested him, but I was like, how do you, like, I asked him, how do you think you showed up in my living room? How do you think that happened? Because I know I manifested you, but like for you to just show up like that. And he said, you know what? I've been thinking about that and I have no idea. Okay. 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 So back to the beliefs, right? So before I manifested my future husband, I was dead set against not getting married because my belief was I don't want to get married because I don't want to get divorced again. So I had to change my story and my belief in marriage so much so that I not only allowed myself to want marriage, but to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is going to work. Because I'm not going to get married if it's not going to work. Like I have to know that it's going to work. So that's how much of a belief shift I had to make. Okay. The thing of it is I didn't know for 20 years that I had that belief. I thought, yeah, I believe in marriage. No, I had no idea. You don't know. You don't know what you don't know your beliefs. You really don't. So what happens is we want something, but subconsciously we are protecting ourselves from that thing and we don't even know it. And it feels like this internal battle. And we aren't actually aware of the beliefs that are blocking us. And then this is why we end up in the same cycles. Just wow. So you were able to change your beliefs, which in turn changed his. I'm like, Kelly, I am still mind blown myself. Like every time I tell this, I'm like, yes. Like I didn't do anything. All I did, here's the thing. It wasn't like, I mean, like I already knew he loved me and that I loved him. So it wasn't like I was trying to make somebody that hated me fall in love with me. I already knew that he loved me. So like it was there. It just was, there was a block, right? So it was a huge jump, but it makes sense. Okay. So I want you to meet my client, Sarah. Sarah came to me after a breakup and she thought maybe my standards are too high. Has anybody thought this? Has anybody thought, I think my standards are too high. Maybe I should lower my standards. Maybe I'm asking for too much. So she thought maybe I'm too picky. Maybe she didn't believe that she could attract her soulmate. Good, Kelly. Within months, she manifested her ex back, and they are dating and making Christmas plans to meet the family, right? So here's the thing, your standards aren't too high. You can totally manifest don't listen to those. Natasha, don't listen to the people that are saying that your standards are too high. Oh, no, your standards are not too high. You can totally have your soulmate. You just have to go all in. Like that, you have to commit. Okay, so yay, Sarah. Awesome. Okay, I want you to meet my client, Kayla. Kayla had a few beliefs that needed to shift before she could manifest her soulmate. But the biggest one is that men took advantage of her and she had to give too much of herself in the relationship to get what she wanted. Do you ever feel like you have to give everything in the relationship and you kind of lose yourself? This is how she was feeling. And she was super exhausted from these relationships. And we went through and shifted her beliefs on relationships and what she was worthy of, and everything changed for her. She started attracting men, and one of them, she started attracting multiple men, and one of them was her soulmate. He showed up for her, asking her to meet the family and claiming her as his own. Okay, so awesome. Okay, you guys are definitely in the right place. Every story you guys can relate to. Okay. Now, I want you to meet Rachel. Rachel had been on and off in a relationship with this certain man for 14 years when she joined my program. She was done with the back and forth. She was done with the uncertainty, and she was done with being alone. She started working with me and she changed her beliefs about what was possible for her and what she wanted and what kind of man this guy was. And within months, this same non-committal guy, because he's obviously non-committal after 14 years, right? This same non-committal guy showed up for her saying that she's the one and he wants to spend his life with her. Amazing. Amazing. I was with my ex close to 11 years. I might still have hope. You get to choose. Katie, you get to choose. Like if you want it, you get to choose. Okay. Who's ready for shift number 4? Okay, shift number 4 is you've got to live a soul-led life. This one's huge, okay? This means you need to follow your heart because you've got to manifest with your heart. You've got to manifest with your heart. You can't manifest, you can't manifest with your head, which means you have to trust your heart and not your head. Love is a heart decision, which is why manifesting works so well in relationships. Love is a heart decision, and that's the only way you can manifest anything is from your heart, okay? So this guy, my future husband, right? For the last year before I manifested him, it's been over a year now, right? So before I manifested him, when I was like, there's an energetic block, what's going on? We should be together, right? I knew that he loved me. I knew that I loved him. And I was like, you love me, I love you, we should be together. Why isn't this working? So logically, right? Logically, I was trying to work this out, and it wouldn't work. And when I went to my heart and I visualized for 3 days and I sent him love, right? It shifted the energy inside of me and shifted the energy between us. Okay? Which you can see, like, obviously this stuff would work in a relationship that has kind of like fallen apart, or like with two people that are, there's an energetic block, right? It's never going to work in your head. And people are trying to run their relationships from fear or from their head, and that actually repels the relationship they want. So the year before I manifested my future husband, I was actually repelling my future husband. In fact, when I manifested him, we had stopped talking for like 2 or 3 months. Like, he didn't want to talk to me. I was actually pushing him away. Okay, so how do you know if you're following your heart? Okay, if you're following your head, it feels like fear. What do I need to do? What do I text back? What how do I have to, what do I have to do to make this work? I have to do this because that's how you make it work. I have to, like, all of these are fear, and it's working from your head. So if you're following your heart or soul, it feels like faith. You truly know it's going to work, which is super scary in love, right? But if you have the right tools and you know how to go through these 4 shifts, then it's not scary. So if you're following your heart or soul, it feels like faith, and you know it's going to work. So the question for you is, are you coming from fear or faith? Okay, Haiti already voted fear before I even put the question out. Are you coming from fear or faith? Okay. I've noticed that when I have good thoughts about my soulmate, he shows up for me more often. Exactly. But if it's not, if you have not manifested that relationship, there's still like old patterns and all these things that still need to be shifted, right? It's easy to shift a little bit and have like have him show up every once in a while. It's easy to manifest. Like it's easy to manifest even an engagement and then lose that because you haven't reprogrammed your relationship patterns. Okay. It's definitely been making fear-based. I've definitely been making fear-based decisions. Sometimes both fear. Exactly. I'm having a huge setback this week. And if it's coming and going, there's a lot that needs to shift. Okay. So I want you to meet my client, Nadia. Nadia came to me on the verge of divorce. Actually, she had been talking to divorce lawyers for 4 years. Her marriage was not working. We worked together to create a soul-led life, putting herself first and following her heart, and everything changed for her. She was able to fall deeply in love with herself, and her relationship with her husband radically changed. He showed up for her more loving and emotionally available than ever before. She is completely happy, and she is no longer seeking a divorce. And this is over 1.5 years ago that we last worked together. So this stuff works. This stuff truly works. Okay. I want you guys to meet Andy. When Andy first came to me, he was successful as a software engineer, but he had no drive in life, no motivation, no desire to do anything but keep his job. The problem was, after his last breakup, his confidence was shattered. In fact, he had given up all hope of ever being in a relationship at all. All he did was work or drink. Okay, you guys ready for this? You guys know what this is going to happen on the next page. Okay, we worked together on creating a life that he loved, a soul-led life, and he not only lost 65 pounds in a few months, but also got a promotion at work and found his soulmate and asked her to marry him. And she said yes, of course. Now that's a turnaround. Okay. Before, after. Before, I look at this and I'm like, that does not even look like the same person. And if I didn't actually witness it, I would, but it is. It is. So like, this is what having a bad relationship does to you. Like, even like some people have it on the outside, like, but they gain weight, but like, this is emotionally, like, what does it look like inside? It's not good. Okay. So here's the thing. Saying yes to who we are and what our soul wants makes us happy, but we need to have that soul connection. And intimacy is a need that we have to have as humans. Here's where people go wrong. We've been hurt, so we try to protect ourselves, which keeps us from the exact thing that we want. So we end up with people we aren't excited about and in relationships we aren't excited about. Usually we try to protect ourselves by finding someone safe, like I did, right? And or not putting everything we have into the relationship. We hold back. And maybe we've even gone through a period of time where we said we don't want a relationship and that we're okay being single. But if you're on here, you know that doesn't work because we want what we want, and our soul wants a soulmate relationship, someone that we feel safe with and we also have passion with. Okay, so put in the comments, what are you not getting right now in your relationship or in your past relationships? For those of you who are, most of you should be single, I think. What are you not getting? Love, trust, intimacy, passion, connection. I can put all of these for my ex-husband for sure. How would your life be different if you could create that soulmate relationship? Okay, I made a promise to you at the beginning of this. I told you that I was going to tell you how to manifest an emotionally available partner who is ready to commit. And we went over, number 1, reprogram your patterns. Number 2, heal your past. Number 3, change your beliefs. And number 4, live a soul-led life. Trust, kindness, partnership. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. So what would your life look like to flip the switch and manifest your soulmate? What would it be like to be able to attract the kind of a relationship that you want? To stop holding yourself back in your relationship and to create the relationship you truly desire. I mean, can you imagine that? So let me ask you, we've had a good time, but an hour is not that long. How would you like to talk to me directly? And we can talk about how to work together further on this. What would you guys think? Would this help you at all? Let me know. Okay. So here's how I can help. I have set aside some time in the next few days to speak with you one-on-one. And on that call, we're going to talk about where you are right now and what it would look like to manifest your soulmate. This is for you if you are exhausted from trying to make it work and you are so done with trying to figure it out on your own and you know you want to talk about working with me. If that is you, then book your session now. I put up a button. You guys can click on that button and set up a time to talk to me. I encourage you to book this session with me because I struggled to figure this out for almost 20 years. And I know how painful that can be. And I also know that once you know how to flip the switch in your relationship, it will change your life forever. There's no more having to worry about if it's going to work. No more struggling through and depleting yourself. You'll know exactly how to get the love and the intimacy you crave. And again, for those of you who stayed, you guys all stayed because you guys are great. But I'm going to send you that special gift. That's going to be in your email in the next couple days. So keep your eye out for that. But thank you so much for being with me here tonight. I have had an amazing time and I love you all so much. I think every single one of you I've had some kind of conversation with. So that is it for tonight. I will see you guys on the call or in my DMs if you're, want to ask me something on Facebook. But that's it. That's all I had for you tonight. I will see you very soon in Facebook. Okay. Thanks, guys. Nichole, he's on the way to my house out of the blue. Because you're doing the work, Kelly. Because you're doing the work. That is awesome. I'll DM you. Okay, DM me. Love you guys. Bye. Schedule my call. Awesome.